Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a realistic target store in Minecraft step by step, block by block, for all of your city building needs. Now let me tell you what this build includes. We of course have the store itself, the customer car park. Adjoining the store, we have a warehouse and walk-in freezer and employee car park. Heading inside, in the lobby alone, we have toilets, a pharmacy, ATMs, and a flower stand. Moving on to the rest of the store, we have a grocery section, a bakery section, a frozen section, multiple kinds of shelving. We even have a clothes section, guys. The checkout area even has two kinds of checkouts. This is the employee break room. This is the inside of the warehouse. Let me show you the walk-in freezer. This is officially the longest supermarket tutorial that we have ever made on the channel, and the one that I am most proud of. I hope that you guys enjoy this one. If you managed to build it, 3 hours is a really long time. Fun fact, I was hidden somewhere in the intro of this video. If you spotted me, leave a comment down below. The first person to get it right will have their comment pinned. And I don't think that I have to tell you guys that this part doesn't count in finding me. This is the amount of space required to make the build. I would highly recommend copying this grid into your world, and if you do, to find the starting position, begin at the front left hand corner of the grid, count backwards, find the 33rd block, and then count to the right and find the 3rd block. That is where we start. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. I was devastated that I couldn't fit the entire item list on one page. It just couldn't be done. Begin the build by placing 5 bricks in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place 10 white concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then place 34 more bricks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. We then want to extend backwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We will then place a smooth quartz block to the right. Leave a gap of 2. 1, 2. Place another smooth quartz, leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, place a smooth quartz, and then leave another gap of 2, 1, 2, place a smooth quartz. Then place a white concrete to the right, extend forwards by 1, and then right by 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then place 12 red concrete extending up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then extend to the left by 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. And that is where we are going to leave that row of red concrete. I know that this seems like a weird place to leave the front of the build, but it actually makes most sense for us to now head to the right side of the build, where we will extend this white concrete backwards by 34. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. We will then extend across the back of the build, that way, by 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm going to recount that. It is indeed a row of 14. Better safe than sorry. Next, place a row of 12 polished granite extending forwards from this white concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then extend to the right by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then place a brick in front, which we will then extend to the right. Leave a gap of 2. 1, 2. And then we will place 24 more bricks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We then will place a row of 3 bricks extending towards the front of the build. 1, 2, 3. Then, behind and to the right, we will place 5 stone brick stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we will place a bricks forwards and to the right. Extend to the right by 1. Leave a gap. Place 2 more. 1, 2. Then turn this way and extend these bricks all the way to the right. We don't have to count. All we have to do is line up with the front of the build over there. Then, extending towards the front of the build, we will place a row of 21 bricks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We will then extend inwards 1, place a smooth quartz block to the right, and extend up by 3. 1, 2, 3. Extend to the right by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then down. Extend the top block to the right by 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And then all the way down. Place a bricks to the right. Extend forwards. And then extend all the way to the right. Just like this. And if you like, you can remove these grass in between the smooth quartz, and you can fill these areas in with glass pane, just like this. And that will give us the general sort of floor plan for our target, and it's kind of big. Where do we even start? Step 1, we are going to extend this red concrete block here all the way back, and we are going to connect it down to this white concrete block here in the corner, just like so. We will then extend this red concrete block all the way across, and we will connect it to this floating row of red concrete that we placed earlier. And I'm just going to extend from the front, just because it'll be a little bit easier this way. So, just all the way back, like this. And we can even extend this row of red concrete down, all the way to the ground, like this. And we can kind of do it here with this one as well, but the problem is we don't actually want to have these rows of red concrete in the store ultimately. We're just kind of doing this to help us lay the foundation of the build. I think that it would be incredibly satisfying to get that filled in right now, but unfortunately, it's just not the time. So instead, we are going to come over to this random row of white concrete that we placed earlier, and we will extend it 1 row forwards. We will then place 12 rows of red concrete on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we can just extend each one of those blocks all the way over to the left. I'm doing a terrible job right now. Perfect. And whilst we're here, we are going to add some target branding. So we want to find the 2 middle blocks at the top of this area, which I do believe are these 2. They should be 4 rows to the left and 4 rows to the right. Well, once you've found these 2 blocks, we want to count down and find the 3rd row. So 1, 2, 3. And we will place smooth quartz block in those positions. We will then place smooth quartz stairs to the right of this row, and an upside down one underneath, and then a smooth quartz stair to the right, and then 2 smooth quartz block extending down, 1, 2, and then an upside down smooth quartz stair underneath, a smooth quartz stair to the left, and then another upside down smooth quartz stair underneath, place 2 smooth quartz block extending left, and then an upside down stair, a regular stair on top, an upside down stair to the left, and then 2 smooth quartz block extending up, smooth quartz stair on top, upside down one to the right, and then a regular one in this corner, to give us this. And then in the very middle of this circle, we can place 4 strategically placed smooth quartz stair to make an even smaller circle, just like that. Bullseye. Now that we've done that, we can build up the wall around this area. So come to the front left hand corner of the building and place a brick on top of our brick. Then place 5 smooth sandstone on top of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can even place a smooth quartz slab on top of that, but we'll mess about with those later. We are then able to extend the brick and sandstone blocks all the way over to the right, where we want to connect to the entrance area. Just in case you didn't know, this area with the smooth quartz blocks kind of just randomly placed, this is the main entrance. Well, I'm now going to just place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smooth sandstone on top of our bricks with a smooth quartz slab on top, and I'm just going to bridge the gap between the row at the front left hand side of the building all the way to the entrance, just extending back and forth. We also have to move through this area here, so the big giant target sign that we've just made, we don't want to fill in behind that at all, we just kind of want to leave that alone. I was going to leave the smooth quartz slabs off of the top of the wall for now, but the wall looks just so lonely without them. Perfect. So now that we've done that, we are going to work on the main entrance a little bit more. So step 1 is to place an additional row of 5 smooth quartz blocks on top of each one of our smooth quartz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you know what, we can actually just extend across as well, and down to the opposite side, and then we can just extend these blocks up, just like this. We can then add glass to the top of these, just underneath the top I should say, and then smooth quartz block underneath this. And then it's up to you how many entrance doors you would like. However, I've decided to make this middle section just like a window, and then we can just have 2 sliding doors just on the left and right side, just like this. We can then place red concrete all the way around the frame here, so just extending up from the white concrete and just along the top of this doorway, joining to and ultimately through this wall, so we can actually knock out that smooth quartz slab here. We can extend over to the left, and as you might be able to see, ultimately we will extend the smooth quartz slabs here, and this will all join together, and you can see that we've actually formed part of the shape now. And I think that we can even fill this front part of the red concrete area in with just red concrete. I'm doing a terrible job of filling things in today. I don't know why I keep missing blocks. Now let's take a look. Yeah, see, that's nice. That's coming together. Next, we will add a canopy above the entrance by placing a row of 7 smooth quartz slab extending forwards from this block right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then extend all the way over to the left, and the goal is to line up with the giant red concrete area that we placed earlier. Once you have, you can extend and connect to the building, and then we can just fill this area in using these smooth quartz slabs. Perfect. Then we are going to add some rows of smooth quartz block extending down from this position. Well, the first block is a smooth quartz slab, and then smooth quartz block extending all the way down to the ground. And then following that block along and lining up with this corner here, we will place smooth quartz block extending up, and then we'll just join it with a slab. And that looks great. Next, we want to apply the same target logo that we did over there, all the way over here, and to do that we will line up with this smooth quartz slab, count to the right and find the third block, 1, 2, 3, and here we will place an upside down smooth quartz stair with 2 smooth quartz block extending right, 1, 2, another upside down smooth quartz stair, regular one on top, upside down one to the right, 2 smooth quartz blocks on top, stair on top, upside down stair to the left, regular one on top, 2 smooth quartz block extending left, smooth quartz stair to the left, upside down one underneath, regular stair to the left, 2 smooth quartz block extending down, upside down stairs underneath, and then a regular one in the corner. And then we just have to add the bullseye here by placing 4 strategically placed smooth quartz stair here, forming a circle. And now that we have done that, we are just going to take a second to admire it, because the front of the store, this is my favorite view. This looks very cool. Next, we are going to head all the way over to the left side of the build, where we will first of all extend all of these bricks and smooth sandstones and even the smooth quartz slab all the way to that back corner there. So let's start with the bricks, move through this window, and actually guys, we can continue. So extend all the way to the back, but then we can actually continue all the way along this wall here. And we can even create a partial new wall, and we can join to where the red concrete was placed earlier, just like so. And I think it would be best to add the smooth sandstone on this end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the smooth quartz slab like this. And then we can just easily just travel back and forth along these rows and add all of the blocks that we need to. Oh, we can extend across the top of the window as well. So we kind of like want to box the window in. We don't really want to like follow the shape of the window. It's meant to be set a row backwards. As a matter of fact, all the way along the inside of Target itself, like there's a bunch of false walls and double walls, and like the interior of this build will look very different once we start adding all of those. Now we've just got the smooth quartz slab to add. Perfect. So before we do anything else, I would also like to extend this red concrete area here. I'd like to extend it backwards so that the slabs have something to connect to, and I would also just like to extend the upper half of this backwards as well. There's no need to do the lower half, as that will actually be the interior for some shelving and stuff inside the actual build, but this is looking pretty good right now. So I think that the next part of this is for us to make these two buildings here. At the back of the build, we have a warehouse, which is loosely laid out by these bricks. And I think that we should probably make this before any more of the main building. So step one, we are just going to add an additional layer of bricks on top of our bricks, just like this. And I think that we may even have to replace this granite with a brick and just extend these bricks roughly in towards the center of the build. And I suppose these should be 2 rows high as well. And then on top of these, we will place 3 rows of smooth sandstone. 1, 2, 3. And we will just extend these rows along the bricks that we've placed. So it's a little bit smaller than the actual main building itself, and it does have a different roof as well. I would also like to leave these 2 blocks open, as that is an entrance / exit to the warehouse. And in a similar vein, we are just going to leave these 2 blocks alone as well, and just where we have these stairs. So we'll add 3 more rows of stairs on top of the stone brick stairs, and then we'll just cap it off with a row of smooth sandstone just across the top like this. And just whilst we do have the bricks out as well, there is a 2-row high wall here, just extending out of the back corner of the warehouse that extends all the way along to the right, and it just lines up with the corner of the building just like that. So next we are going to place a row of stone brick slabs just along the top of these walls, just like so. So along the top of this wall, and we are going to extend those slabs left and up and left and up and left and up. And we want to line up with the top of the wall there. I think I might have done it. So that's a stone brick block. Let's extend it all the way to this wall. That's as high as they want to go. And we want the same thing on the opposite side, by the way. So starting here, extend the slabs, overhang the back, and then right up, right up, right up, right up. I do believe it's a little bit trickier because we don't have a wall to look at, but we can just extend a row of stone brick slabs across the top. We were right, actually, so that's perfect. And that's what it wants to look like. And we can just extend these all the way into towards the center of the build as well. We have to fill this little bit of wall in here with some smooth sandstone. And we might even have to chuck it up another half row as well, looking at it. So we don't want the top of this. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it lines up with the... I was under the impression, looking at my plans, that these slabs were just underneath this smooth quartz, but apparently not. Apparently I was wrong. So I'm just outlining the very top of the roof here, just extending it back. I'm having a little bit of trouble because we don't have like a chunk of wall here. So what I'm thinking is we remove this red concrete here and we just extend the bricks and the smooth sandstone over to the left. So just like this. Oh, and what would also be handy is adding an entrance or a doorway into the actual store itself that is parallel to that door. I guess it doesn't really matter if some of this wall is wrong, but that's definitely how the interior wall for the warehouse should look. So now that we've done that, we can start extending the stone brick blocks to the wall that we now have. And we'll just do that on both sides, and then we'll just add... Well, I guess since we're here, we might as well just add these slabs as well, because there's not too much to it. There we go, and that's how the edge of the roof should look too. That's looking nice. And then we'll add the slabs, and then we'll just fill the very top in. Which will of course go here. And it would have looked better to have just the slabs just half a row below the smooth quartz, but I'm pretty sure that I did this for a reason, and that is so that the lights look better inside, I do believe, for the actual warehouse. And I think, of course, just the extra bit of height inside a warehouse also helps because there's a forklift and shelves in here, and it doesn't really want to feel cramped or small. So I think that's why I might have opted to make it just a little bit taller. Unfortunately, like, the way something looks sometimes has to be changed to make it a little bit more practical, and yeah, there we go, that's perfect. So that's the warehouse. I feel compelled to add the doors to the entrances for some reason. So just remove the grass underneath the entrances, stick a smooth stone there, and then a spruce door. If you don't like spruce doors, oak would look good as well, but I think that spruce just works perfectly. And there we go, that is just for some reason just made me a lot happier. So now that we've done that, we have a walk-in freezer just to the left. So step one is to add an extra row of polished granite onto our polished granite, just like this. And then we can add a row of smooth sandstone on top of the granite. And then a row of stone slab on top of this. And we can extend the slab all the way into the wall here. I don't want to add any extra wall to this bit necessary. I mean, can I? We'll just change it later if need be, but this won't even be visible anyway. So we can add this. And then all the way over here in this corner, we want to add a 2x2 square of light grey concrete with rails along the top. And then we can just add some stone slabs, just like this, to make the roof. And then, just off to the side here, we will add a 2x2 square of block of iron and a stone button here, just like that. And that is the walk-in freezer. You know what, guys? I didn't plan for this, but since we're here, why don't we do a bit of landscaping? To begin, we will place a row of large ferns across the back of the warehouse. Leave a gap of 2 right of the double door, so 1, 2, and then just place large ferns against this back wall, extending all the way over to the right. When we have reached the edge of the warehouse here, we are now just going to remove the remaining grass and grid from just most of this side of the build now. So just all the way along this back wall. all the way towards the front of the build. We even have to remove in front of the warehouse area, actually. And then towards the front of the build again. In front of the window. And whilst we could legit just like remove all of this, we are going to stop here. And now we're just going to work back on ourselves. And we are going to fill all of this in with smooth stone. Or at least some of it, at the very least. So we want to extend all the way towards the warehouse area. And once we reach this wall, we can actually just place a couple of rows, extending towards the door. We can then add a row of smooth stone here against this wall. And we can actually extend it out, and we can start to bring it back across the back. Why don't we just do it now, actually? What am I thinking? So we can just fill this little remaining patch in with smooth stone as well. There we go. Along the top of this wall, we can add some iron bars. And then for this big empty space here, I'm going to fill it in with stone. Typically speaking, for road materials like this, I'd usually use like cyan terracotta or grey concrete, but since this is kind of like a separate from the road and public transport system kind of deal, I thought that it'd be nice to have something a bit different, so I'm going with stone, but I did briefly consider andesite as well. It's rarely just a place for trucks/lorries to pull up on, so it probably wouldn't need to be as hardy as, or as well finished as like regular roads. And it just stands out a little bit, which I think is nice. And what else is nice, I think, is this general area now. That's looking pretty good. So now we can start removing some more grass and grid as well. We're going to remove all the way across the back here. And we can actually remove 2 rows. So 2 entire rows just across the back. Just like this. All the way to the plants. And we also want to leave just 1 row of grass from around where we have the walk-in freezer. Just like this. Right, so we want to leave that area alone. But then we can kind of just remove all of the remaining grass and grid, curving around to the front of the build once again. So this area here is ultimately going to be an employee car park. And we do just have pathways that kind of just lead everywhere as well. So we are just going to remove these 2 rows all the way towards the front. To here. And then we can place just 2 rows of smooth stone leading all the way back. But it's not quite as simple as that. Actually, you'll see why in a second. So, like, once we reach the back corner of the build, which would be here, we then just want to place 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of smooth stone like this. And then we want to have a row 3, 1, 2, 3, cyan terracotta, just like so. And then we're just going to have 2 rows of smooth stone extending to this back corner, and then just all the way across there to join to the path that we made previously. So it's actually quite a long way. So all the way across here. And that looks pretty good. So we've just got to make a little car park here. We have a couple of rows of andesite against the back, so just against the grass that we purposefully left, we'll have 2 rows of andesite just like this, and then we'll just have it configured like so. So we'll have 1, 2, 3 cyan terracotta, smooth quartz block. 1, 2, 3, terracotta, smooth quartz block, and that will naturally end in cyan terracotta. And we can extend the smooth quartz forwards by 4 rows, or just line it up with the smooth stone. And then we can do the exact same thing on the opposite side as well. So we can have the smooth quartz and the cyan terracotta just like this, and that naturally makes just some parking bays. And typically speaking, I usually like to add, like, you know, yellow carpet or some sort of slab or something to the head of the car parking bays, but since this is just like an employee car park, and I kind of wanted to show that this is a bit different than the regular car park, I've decided not to add that, but you certainly could if you want to flare things up a little bit. And this is going to look pretty good in a second. So yeah, look at that. Nice. I think that the next step is to start filling in the red concrete area. So I think that we've got to remove some of these smooth sandstone blocks. Just so that from the outside, like if I just extend a row of red concrete up here, there we go. So we're not going to see any smooth sandstone mixed in with the red concrete. So that's just the first step there, just removing some of those unnecessary blocks. And like I said, like a lot of the inside of the build is like double walled, and like we're just not going to see any of like this like weird blemishing that we have here. So now we can just fully just extend. It's actually white concrete at the base, isn't it? So we can extend the red concrete just all the way across. And I mean, there's nothing else to it. We've literally just got to fill in the remaining side. So we'll start with the back, which sounds weird to say because we have already been starting with the back. We're like halfway done already. Right, let's take a look. That's perfect. It all seamlessly connects together. And then the right side here, we of course just have to completely fill this in as well. And now we're just going to fill the top in. This might be the biggest bit. This feels very daunting. I know what you guys are thinking. Of course, we're now going to fill this part of the wall in. And you'd be wrong. Well, kind of. We're just going to do something else first. So, all we've got to do first is extend our smooth quartz slab that we placed along the top of the walls. We have to extend it from front to back, just like this, to make two big giant empty areas. And this left side here is basically going to be the roof, and this area here is going to be the interior ceiling. So the ceiling and the roof are basically in the exact same plane, and I just thought it'd be a little bit easier to make the inside ceiling before we sealed it off with the red concrete. But anyway, I think that I'm just going to mark the area out like this, just so we can see what we're working with. Perfect. So I don't know why it feels better to do that and then fill the middle of it in. But it does. I think it's just having like the restrictions or the barriers of the shape. It's comforting for some reason, as opposed to just like applying it directly to the red concrete. I guess I'm a weirdo. I don't know. The only sad part is that this does feel like quite a bit of wasted space. I was considering adding some like offices or something up here, but then I couldn't really find like room for stairs. Despite the size of the build, like I did actually struggle to fit everything that I wanted to in here. Which seems crazy, really. As I do believe that this is probably the largest supermarket that I've made on the channel now. I think, or at the very least in the mini city era. Perfect, so that's the inside part done. Now this does pose a minor problem in that we have to do remove. Did that sentence even make sense? We have to remove the row of smooth quartz slabs here, where the red concrete connects front to back. And that does pose a slight problem for the inside the build, but that's something that we can fix later. But basically just remove that row of slabs and then you can connect the red concrete just front to back or top to bottom or however you want to visualize this really. And there we go, nice. That feels monumentous, actually. Very cool. So now we can just continue extending the smooth quartz slabs just across the rest of the build now. And for some reason, I am kind of adding a border around this again. And it doesn't even make sense because we're placing these smooth quartz slabs onto smooth quartz slabs. And yet I still feel compelled to do this. I don't know why. Should really talk to a doctor about it. So now we can just fill this entire area in with these smooth quartz slabs. This will form the roof / ceiling on the inside, and that's it really. How I wish this was just regular smooth quartz. The smooth quartz slab takes so much more of my concentration to place. I don't know why I'm complaining as if I'm not the one that chose to use smooth quartz slab in the first place. Wow, that took forever. But I do have to say, that was well worth it, as that is pretty much the entire target building complete. Our next task is to make the rather large car park in front of our target. So, to make this more palatable, we're going to break this down into steps. Step 1 is to remove the grass and grid from in front of the building, just until we are one row in front of the canopy legs. So we will remove all the way from that right side, all the way over to the left, and just everything in between. And we will replace all of that with smooth stone. So now that we have replaced all of that with smooth stone, we are now going to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows in front of this, just left to right, like so. The majority of this is just going to be grey concrete, so we'll just start off by placing it all. There are some crossing markings that we will add later, but I think it's probably just easiest to place all of the grey concrete first. Next, we are going to remove 2 entire rows of grass and grid from the outside of the remaining grass and grid. That sounds very strange to actually put into words, but it basically equates to this. We just want 2 rows all the way around the very edge of the remaining part of the grass and grid so that we can add a walkway all the way around the car park. So now that we have removed that, we can just go back on ourselves and fill it all in with smooth stone. So now that we have our car parking area marked out, we have to further divide this giant space up. So to begin, we are just going to remove 2 additional rows of grass block from against this road. And then starting on the left here, working it back on ourselves to the right, we will place a row of 5 smooth stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6 grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 10 smooth stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 6 grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 11 smooth stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 6 grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 15 smooth stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then finally, 5 grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can just fill the remaining area in with smooth stone. So now you can see that we have divided this up. Next, we are going to add another row of smooth stone along the inside of the smooth stone parts. And then we are going to remove the grass that corresponds with the grey concrete, and we are going to remove all the way to the very end of the car park, so connecting to the smooth stone path that we placed a little bit earlier. So like this, and we are just going to fill this in with grey concrete as we do it. Just like so. So wherever we have this, we will do the exact same thing. And then just 2 more times. And then the last one over here. And once we've done that, that will give us this. Next, on the right and left side of the car park, we can actually remove all of the remaining grass, as if we're not going to remove all of the grass ultimately anyway, but for some reason, it feels right to start here. And in this empty space, starting from this corner, we will place 1, 2, 3 grey concrete, followed by a white concrete, and we will repeat this 1, 2, 3 white concrete, 1, 2, 3 white concrete, all the way along until we have that. We are then able to extend the white concrete to connect to our previously made road, and then we can just fill all of the remaining empty space in with grey concrete. And in doing so, we have successfully made some car parking spaces, which we want to replicate all the way over here on the left side as well. I know that it might seem a little bit arbitrary to bounce back and forth from opposing sides of the car park, but these are the only parts of the car park that are identical to each other, so it makes sense to do them both together, I think. So once again, starting in this corner, 1, 2, 3 grey concrete, followed by a white concrete. Just extending all the way to the front of the build, and then extend the white concrete to join the road. And then just fill the middle in with grey. Perfect. So now, since we are on this side of the car park, we are going to remove 5 rows of grass, starting from the left here, extending right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are going to remove these. And replace them with smooth stone. We can then remove all of this remaining grass from in between the pathway that we've just made and the road. And we can add some more car parking spaces, and it's the exact same method as what we did over there. So 1, 2, 3 grey concrete and a white concrete. Then we will extend all of the white. And then all of the grey. Perfect. But before we move on, we also want to add some lampposts. So directly to the middle of this pathway, we are going to place rows of 1, 2, 3, 4. Shall we even go 5? No, we'll go 4. Rows of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stone brick wall, extending up from the ground here, that line up with our white lines. We will then simply just place sea lanterns left and right of the top of these, and that will make some lampposts. Just like so. So now that we have done the left side of the car park, I feel compelled to head all the way over to the right side of the car park. And we are going to remove a row of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 grass, starting from the right side here of our smooth stone path. And we can just dig all the way to the front again, and we are just going to remove this area. When you guys are following this tutorial along, you must think that all of this is just so arbitrary. Like, why do things in this order specifically? Like, it must just seem so random. And then we are just going to fill all of this in with smooth stone. And I wish I had an answer for you. It does seem random, doesn't it? I don't even understand why we're doing it like that. It seems like it's the easiest order to do things for some reason. Like, instead of just removing the entire car park and then painstakingly adding all of the, and counting out all of the pathway and all of the bays and everything, it seems easiest to do it this way, but I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy. Okay, so now that we have this giant smooth stone pathway, we have to find the middle of it. So it's quite easy because it coincides from that smooth quartz to the smooth quartz. And we want to mark out these 4 blocks right here. So we have 2 rows of smooth stone in front of us and 3 smooth stone on the left and right. And then we extend these slabs backwards by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we just extend across and we join back to the front. And we remove the smooth stone from the inside, place podzol in there, and then we just add oak leaves to the middle of the podzol, just leaving a row of podzol in front of and behind the leaves. And then we leave a gap of 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then we basically do the same thing again. So we place a row of smooth andesite slabs, polished andesite slabs extending all the way to the back here. We leave a gap of 2, and then we can just extend across, and then forwards, join back, and then remove the smooth stone, add podzol, and then just some leaves right in the middle. And that will give us this. So next we are going to remove all of the grass from inside of this area here, and you are never going to guess what these are going to be. And starting from this corner, we will place 1, 2, 3 grey concrete, and then a white concrete, and then the exact same thing again that we've done a million times already. We're just marking out some more parking bays. And once we've done that, of course, we can just extend the white concrete along. And then the grey. And that will give us this. For the final part of the car park, we are going to begin by removing all of the remaining grass. We will then add a row of white concrete directly down the middle of this empty space, so dividing this area directly into 2. And then we are going to, starting from any one of the sides, place the usual 1, 2, 3 grey concrete, and then a white concrete. Just like so. And then once again, we can just extend the white concrete. Fill the middle parts in with grey. And then we can just extend the white concrete on the other side, just like all the way across, like this. And then we can just fill the middle of this in with grey concrete as well. And that will give us this. And right in the middle here, so we have a set of 5 parking bays. Well, in the middle bay, which is the third one, we are going to place a row of 1, 2 smooth quartz block extending up from here, and 1, 2 here, 1, 2 here, 1, 2 here, here as well, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we are going to fill in between all of these rows in with glass, except for the outer row, so the rows that kind of like extend onto the road, so we're going to leave those. And then we will place smooth quartz stairs along the sides here, just like this. And then we are going to place a series of smooth quartz slabs extending up to meet in the middle, just like this. And not one of those, believe it or not, is a smooth quartz block, and I thought it was. I don't know why. So we will place that on both sides, and then we'll just connect together like this. And here we just have like a trolley return shelter right in the middle of the car park. And by the way, like I like the glass like this. Like I like being able to like peer over here. Do feel free to fill that in if you like. But basically, we can then just add some shopping carts in here, or trolleys if you like, which are just cauldrons with mangrove fence gates attached to them. I wish that we had something that was purely red and sort of looked like a trolley, because the Target shopping carts actually look quite nice. They're just like purely red. But there we go. And now that we have done that, we've actually completed the entire car park. Speaking of trolleys though, actually, I would like to add another one of those over here by placing 2 iron bars connecting the canopy leg to the building, and then placing a row of, let's go with 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 iron bars here, and then we can just fill this in with cauldrons in any proportion that you like, and add the mangrove fence gates behind, just like so. And if you'd like to add more of these around the place, you can. There probably should be more, but like I like how this looks. I think it would look a little too unbalanced if we added too much more, to be honest. Now, the very last thing that we have to add before we head inside is the sign. Of course, we've got the big, giant, unmistakable bullseye that is, of course, the Target logo. But what if, even after all of this, you still don't know where you are? Well, we have to write out the word Target in banners. So throw down a loom, open it up, place a red banner in there with white dye. The first letter we must make is T. So that's the chief pattern, followed by the pale pattern. Next is A. This is the Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, Chief, and then Fast Patterns. Then R is Pale Dexter, Chief, Bend. Next is G. This is Pale Sinister. Put red dye in, apply the Per Fast pattern, put white dye in, apply base, Pale Dexter, and then Chief. And then the last letter we must make is E. This is the Pale Dexter pattern, Chief, Fess, Base. And with these banners, we can now, in this position, so it's actually satisfying because it lines up with the left side of the bullseye as well. We can place T, A, R-G-E-T. And there we have Target. That is so satisfying. So we can place it here, and originally I did just have it over there, but if you wanted to, you could place it here as well, because it's a similar sort of, it fits just perfectly into the bottom of the sign. And now let's just take a look at what we've made before we head inside, because it is quite spectacular, guys. Look at what you've managed to do. That is awesome. And with those final details added, it is now time for us to head inside and begin work on the interior. Guys, where do we even start? This is crazy. I think maybe step one, we just remove all of the grass from inside of the build. I think making the floor would give us a good foundation, I guess quite literally, to build everything else. Part of me was tempted to just start building stuff, but every time, and I do mean every time, that I build something and then try and build the floor afterwards, I regret it. Like 110 times out of 10. So let's just get all of the grass up. Oh, we also have the warehouse and the walk-in freezer as well. But I think we'll actually leave those until later, as almost all of Target shares the same floor material, but those two parts do not. I also find myself building a border again, as usual. Oh, we can get rid of this red concrete too. I think I'd like to just remove this little abstract chunk here. There we go, so now we have just this giant rectangle. I always feel like Pac-Man when I remove things this way. Waka waka waka. I've said this in videos before, but if you suffer from a short attention span, like myself, if you're doing something like filling in like massive things, or if you've just got to like remove loads of blocks, something like really tedious and repetitive, sometimes it's really helpful to like shake up how you're doing it. And I always find this rather satisfying to like just remove the outer edge and like slowly start dwindling a shape down. Like, just work from the outside and just go around in, like, loops. If you don't suffer from these kind of attention span problems, then it might sound a little bit crazy, but trust me, if you do, it definitely helps. Perfect. So now that we have removed the floor, we are going to replace all of it with quartz bricks. The only part that you might not want to use quartz bricks, and this is the only part, is underneath the windows. You may want to use smooth quartz instead. Now, there are certain points in the floor, such as like in the bathrooms, in the employee area, in just different parts of the build where you may want to change the floor. There's a clothes section where we will actually use some wood instead. But these areas are so small that I think that it's just easier to start off with this foundation of quartz brick, and then you can just choose later whether it's worth changing them. Like in the bathrooms, for instance, like quartz brick is a solid floor material of choice. Like it's hard to find a better one that does fit bathrooms, so it's kind of just useful all over the place, and it is quite nice to have something that is like consistent throughout the entire build. I once again find myself doing weird things with the floor, but in all fairness, I did start off just by smoothing things out and kind of like making a big giant rectangle to fill in, and now we've just gone to another place entirely. I don't know what I'm doing now. I think I'm making a border again. Yeah, there we go, perfect. So now I guess we'll just do it in... I might do very long rows, actually. I might go from, like, just one side to the other. Now, this does feel extremely long to do, though. Woo! Well, that was fun, right? Anyway, now that we have a foundation to build on, build we shall, starting all the way over here at the main entrance. Begin by placing 4 white concrete in front of this white concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend to the left by 1, then place an oak door, and then 3 white concrete. 1, 2, 3. Then extend this way by 1, place an oak door, and then 2 white concrete. 1, 2. Then extend forwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place a row of 5 red concrete on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then extend to the left by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extend down to the ground, making sure to join to the ground with a white concrete. Extend the white concrete all the way to this back wall, and then you will have this very weird set of blocks that might not make much sense. But if we extend this white concrete back to this wall, and this one back to this wall, and we place red concrete along this row here, and we just extend up as high as we have to go, basically all the way to the ceiling, really, so all the way up to here. And we do the same just around this door, folding up here. Then we will have actually separated this little area into 3 distinct rooms with a hallway. So this larger room here, closest towards this front wall, this is a general purpose bathroom. The smaller room right next to it is a more handy capable bathroom. And the rather large area here, which we now have to fill the wall in of, this is going to be a chemist / pharmacy. A small one, but still. So we want to have this. Now, my recommendation is to actually install a ceiling here as well. So, like, leave one gap above the door here, place some red concrete like this, and then extend up. So we kind of like box this in a little bit. I think it just looks a little bit better. I also like the idea of having a sign here to point out that this is in fact a pharmacy. So we can have 2 white concrete here, which we can just spread across to this side, just like that. We'll talk more about the actual pharmacy later. But for now, let's head into the larger of these 2 rooms and we can begin work on the bathroom. So in this corner, we will place a cauldron, spruce trapdoor on top, leave a gap, do the same thing, leave a gap, do the same thing, and box these in using smooth quartz blocks just like this. You can even add some smooth quartz slab to the top of these if you like, and then just give these doors, like you can use any doors, I'm using oak just because I've got it. Then all the way over here we will place 2 light grey concrete, 1, 2 in this position, item frame here, some candles here, flower pot here, smooth quartz stair here on the wall, pale oak sign in front, stone button below it, thread on loom, open it up, light blue banner in there with some white dye, apply a bend pattern, followed by a gradient pattern, black dye, and the bourgeois pattern, and stick that above the item frame. And there you have a super simple bathroom. Now, what I'm considering is whether or not to drop the ceiling in here, because it's very high, isn't it? So if we were to, say, drop the ceiling, probably do it to about here. So leave 1 row's gap above just kind of everything. You could even add some lights in here as well. That's something that I might experiment with later, but I think that that's just fine. I'm just going to grab my button back as well. And now that we've done that, we can head into this toilet here. And we can start off by placing 1, 2, 3 light grey concrete like this. Light blue banner here, the mirror banner here. Item frame here. Can stack up some candles here. We can place the hand dryer on the wall here, so that's the smooth quartz stair, pale oak sign, stone button just like this. And then right here in the corner we can place a flower pot, and just next to it we can just have the toilet itself, which is the cauldron and the spruce trapdoor. So maybe, since this is kind of like the handy capable bathroom, maybe we could have like a handrail or something off to the side as well. So maybe like yeah, maybe like an open fence gate like this, or maybe against the wall like so, actually. I don't know which one would be more beneficial. Maybe it would actually make more sense to have like both like this. I'm not sure. I kind of like the symmetry of this though. So I'm thinking maybe just like this right next to the toilet. And I do also want to drop the ceiling in here as well. So once again, just one row above everything. And that'll be just fine, and we can just leave it like that. And if we wanted to, we could just label this. So like, I don't know, like maybe we could actually just like label above this, just have like toilets or something like that. So instead of like labeling them individually, we can just keep them like that. Well, next let's head into the pharmacy, where we will first of all place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 smooth quartz block in this corner, 1, 2, 3, 4 in this corner, and the same in between. We'll place some upside down smooth quartz stair, connecting the base of this together, iron trapdoors like this, and then item frames on top of the stairs. And then you can stack like a brewing stand here on one set of iron trapdoors with some red candles to the right, brewing stand on this side with some light blue candles to the right, so just to change things up a little bit. And then across the top of this, I'm thinking that we just connect it together with some smooth quartz block, and then we extend forwards by 3 rows, 1, 2, and 3, and then we just box this whole thing in again. So just to kind of like make it a bit smaller in here. And then we are going to leave a gap of 2 from in front of this, and then we will place a row of white concrete extending across, just leaving a gap of 1 on the left. We will then stick a polished blackstone stair here, heavy weighted pressure plate here, a couple of item frames, flower pot here, azure bluette here, and then just stick some potions in the item frames. At least 1 potion of healing makes sense, I think. And then just some black carpet across the front of this counter space, and that's looking pretty good, I feel. Then, next we can add some simple shelves in here just by placing a 2x2 square of bookshelves here, just leaving a gap of 1 from pretty much everything on the left side, and the exact same thing on the right. If you wanted to, you could add some actual shelves to these, but I'm trying to keep it simple on purpose, to be honest. And then we are just going to add some smooth quartz slab to the top here, I think. So either like right here, or maybe we could do it so that we have like 2 rows, and then the smooth quartz kind of just connecting to that red concrete there, which I think that we might actually swap out for some smooth quartz slab. So we don't need it, do we? Nope. And then we can just have this, and I think that this will give us, yeah, you see, that just gives us quite a nice effect, like looking into this room. We also have to add, oh, maybe we did need the, maybe we did need the red concrete, actually. How does it look with just like white concrete above, or rather smooth quartz above there? It doesn't look bad, does it, actually? It doesn't look bad, it looks intentional. Let's add some polished blackstone stairs here to join up and extend. That I'm actually fine with that. That looks alright. Now we have to make the sign, which is going to be rather painstaking. So throw down loom, open it up, throw a white banner in there with some black dye. We have to write out the word pharmacy. So the first letter is P. This is the pale sinister pattern. Put white dye in. Perfess inverted pattern. Black dye back in, add the Fess pattern, Pale Dexter, and then Chief. That's our P. Next is H, this is Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, and then Fess. Next is A, this is Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, Chief, and then Fess. Next is R, this is Pale Dexter, Chief, and then Bent. Next is M, this is the inverted chevron pattern. Put white dye in there, apply the Chief indented pattern, put black dye back in there, apply the Pale Sinister and Pale Dexter patterns. Next is C, so apply the Pale Dexter, Chief, and then base pattern. Next is Y, this is the bend pattern, white dye in there, Perfess inverted, bend, and then black dye back in, my bad, and then the bend sinister pattern. And then lastly, we just have to make like one of those green plus shapes, which is just the pale followed by the fast pattern. And that's it. And we can just grab all of those, which will take a second. No, because we're in the loom as well. So hang on. So we can just grab all of these and then we can apply them directly to this sign. And they will... Pharmacy. There we go. Just had to spell that out in my head. Pharmacy, perfect, and I think that that labels things rather nicely, and I'm already starting to love this little corner that we've got. By the way, we never need those again, so if you want to get rid of them. Next, we are going to add a couple of cash machines to this wall, or ATMs, if you like. So, in this corner, we will place a light grey concrete, leave a gap of one above, and then place another. We will place a pale oak sign in front of the upper light grey concrete, and in the first line of the sign, just a bunch of dashes. Second line, just ATM in caps, and then underneath that, dashes again. We will then place a painting here in between the two light grey concretes, stone button in front of the base, and then a rail on top. That's the entire cash machine. We'll leave a gap of one to the left, and then we will build the exact same thing. Now that we've done that, we have to make a couple of security posts. I actually don't know what to call these things, to be honest. They're those like gate things that you walk through and they like beep at you if you've stolen something. Or I guess if you're not very good at stealing, they beep at you. So basically, just leaving a gap of one in front of these two rows of smooth quartz. We just want to have two parallel flipped up rows of oak trapdoors. And that's it. Next, we are going to make a small flower display right about here. But to find the correct position, we simply want to count in front of these two bookshelves and find the fifth block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 black carpet, lining up with those bookshelves just on each side like that. We then place lecterns facing the carpets on both sides. We then add some grass in between the lecterns, flip up some spruce trapdoor left and right of the lecterns / the grass. We add flower pots on top of the lecterns. And then we add item frames in front of the lecterns. I don't think I've ever said the word lectern so much in my entire life. Then we are simply just going to grab an array of flowers, which we will place into not only the flower pots, but we will place them into the item frames as well. So I literally just grabbed the first 8 plants that I liked. You can use any, and you can even add something to the grass as well, maybe some taller plants if you like. But I actually found that I prefer that myself. Now that we have made our flower stand, we will turn our attention to this area. To begin, we will start at the end of this wall and count backwards 1, 2, 3. We will then place a row of bricks extending from that block all the way to this back wall. Stack another row of bricks on top. Then stack smooth sandstone on top of the bricks. I'm also considering, although I'm not certain of this, making the top 2 rows here of this wall red concrete. I'm not sure if it's cool or if it looks kind of weird. I think that we're about to find out. I do kind of like it, to be honest, so we are going to stick with it for a bit. Now, in this corner, we are going to place a row of 1, 2, 3 light grey concrete. We will then leave a gap of 1 and then destroy these 2 blocks here, and then the 2 on the side here. And we also just want to replace that block with either the smooth stone or, better yet, the quartz brick. Now, this room right here is the employee area. So, in this corner, we will place a grey shulker box, left of it a light grey shulker box, and then a grey. And we will stack these blocks 2 rows high. We'll do the same on the opposite wall. And then we'll place some oak slabs in between. Then, on the opposite side of the store, we will leave a gap of 1, place a cauldron, with an oak trapdoor on top, flip it up or down. Then, we'll leave another gap of 1, and place 2 blue concrete, 1, 2, extending left, and then up 2, 1, 2. To the right here, we'll knock out these 2 blocks and place bookshelves in their place, with a glass in front. Then blue carpet on top, and stone buttons to the left. Then on this wall, we, leaving a gap of 1, want to have a 1x2 painting right here in this position. It's funny because that's the one that I'm looking at right now in my plans. We will then leave a gap of 1 and then place 2 rows of 3, block of iron like this, then an iron bar here. Then we will place a row of 1, 2, 3 light grey concrete like this, and then extend forwards 1, 2. Just like so. We will then stick a black concrete here with a polished blackstone pressure plate on top. We will then use our mirror banner that we placed earlier. Now, I'm being a bit lazy because preferably we would place this mirror banner in a loom and we would place black dye in there and apply a fast pattern which would place a black bar right in the middle and then it would look like a complete door. However, I'm being really lazy and I'm just going to stick an item frame right in front of it. Then brewing stand here, flower pot here, then leave a gap of 1 and place 2, 1, 2 smooth quartz stair, gap of 1, smooth quartz stair, end rods in front of the stair, smooth quartz stair on the end, then black carpet on top of the end rods, and we are also, I'm just going to grab these out of the inventory right now. So I'm going to grab the painting, bricks and smooth sandstone, and above each seating arrangement I want to have some paintings. So above the single seat, a single painting, above the double seat, a double painting. And we do also want to box this area in as well. So behind this counter space, we are just going to place 2 rows of bricks just like this to match everything else. And then we are going to add some smooth sandstone on top. So just like this. Or we could place it directly behind. But I kind of like boxing the fridge in. It's kind of interesting to have the fridge here and then everything else, but do feel free to change it. And another thing, before I forget, because this is easy to forget, we are just going to add, we're going to lower the ceiling basically. So we're just going to place smooth quartz slabs, 1 row above the highest thing in this room. So that's either the vending machine or the fridge. The vending machine technically actually, because it's got the carpet on top, so it is the highest thing. And there we go. That's looking pretty good. And we do need a door as well. It's kind of tricky what door to place, so I'm just going to go with the spruce doors. I don't know what, it just seems to work for some reason. And I'm just going to place them right there, and then we can just have like a sign above this, and we can have, I always like to place dashes across the top of these signs, like employees. Would that have that? I don't even know. Would it be that? Regardless, employees only. Whatever. And that's what we want to have, and we'll be covering that up later. Next, let's make the grocery section. To begin, we will extend this light grey concrete up by 3. 1, 2, 3. We will then extend left by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then down. And we will keep repeating this. So up to the top. left by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then down. And we'll keep doing this until we get to a point where we can't really do it anymore. And this will become apparent because we will hit this door frame. And speaking of this door frame, we can actually add some light grey concrete around it. So we can place light grey concrete along the row that we have placed previously, and then across the top of the door frame, and then down, leaving these blocks exposed. We can then place spruce trapdoors all the way around this and just flip them up and down. We should probably do the same on the inside as well, shouldn't we, just so that it matches. At the very least with the spruce trapdoors. I don't know about the light grey concrete part, but there we go. That looks pretty good. And then we are just going to exchange these 2 blocks for quartz brick, and then we can stick some spruce doors here. And that will be the entrance into the warehouse. Now, coming back to the grocery section, we want to basically extend each one of the light grey concretes that aren't part of that door frame forwards by 2 rows, and this will form some fridge/freezers. We want to back them with white concrete. We then want to place iron trap doors along the bottom and here. And we want to stick item frames on each set of the trapdoors. Just like this. We are going to come back to these and fill them in a little bit later, but for now, we have to make some more fridges. So on the opposite side of this door, we will leave a gap of 1 and place 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grey concrete extending along the wall, which we will make 3 rows high in total. We will then extend the left and right side forwards by 2 rows. We will then place white concrete along the back of this with backwards faced polished andesite stairs like this. Iron trapdoors here in this position, and then polished tough slab across the top of this. We will then place item frames on both the stairs and the trapdoors. And there we go. So we want to have a very similar thing all the way over here on the left as well. So just leaving a gap of 3 from the edge of this fridge, so 1, 2, 3, we will place a row of 1, 2, 3 grey concrete like this, which we'll extend this way by 2 rows, so 1, 2. We will then place a row of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, white concrete, extending from that middle row this way. Grey concrete on the end, which we will extend left and right. We will then place polished andesite stairs here, in between the rows on both sides. We will then place iron trap doors here, with item frames on the trapdoors and the stairs. And then we will place polished tough slab across the top of the entire thing. So it's basically the same thing that we've made already, but we can actually see both sides. Then, in between these, we will have a small little produce section. So it basically works like this. We just want to leave a gap of 3 from the stairs here, so 1, 2, 3, and then we will have a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 grass. So the grass, it's basically just a 4x4 square like this, which we will clad with spruce trapdoors just all the way around. And once we've done that, this is the basic area, and it honestly looks pretty good. Now that we have made the grocery section, let's make some more shelves. So to begin, we will leave a gap of 2 from this fridge here, so 1, 2, and we will place a bookshelf. Then leave a gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, place a bookshelf. leave another gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, place a bookshelf. We can then extend the bookshelves to equal the length of the fridge area. We will stack them 2 rows high. We will add, and this isn't necessary if you don't want to, we can add pale oak shelves to the sides of these, and red carpet to the top. However, if you're looking for just a simple look, I'll show you the difference in a second. Just adding red carpet to the top of just regular bookshelves also looks good in my book, so it's up to you. Right, now that we've made some regular shelves, we are going to make some more. So come all the way to the end here, leave a gap of 3, so 1, 2, 3, and place 3 smooth quartz block. 1, 2, 3. Leave a gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, then 3 smooth quartz block. 1, 2, 3. One more time, gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. We will then extend the middle of these rows to the left by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we will extend the block forwards and backwards, and we'll do the same to the remaining 2. We will make these 2 rows high. We will add smooth quartz slab to the top of these as well. And then some iron trap doors as shelves just along the bottom like this, so right at the bottom of these. And I was considering adding some like light grey concrete underneath these, like so, to kind of like highlight them a little bit. I did also consider using white concrete for like the middle parts of them as well. So instead of having smooth quartz as we do here, some white concrete. But I decided against it ultimately. But I do actually kind of like the light grey. I'm just testing it on for fun now, and yeah, I do quite like how that looks. So what I was thinking, with these shelving units, we could add actual blocks onto the iron trap doors as merchandise. So like the jukeboxes, the beacons, furnaces, crafting tables, brewing stands, just like all sorts of different things as merchandise, rather than just like stacking all of these individual shelves with things. It's not that there's anything wrong with these shelves exactly, it's just that I always struggle with what to put in them. Like, I inevitably sort of default to the same sort of things. Like here, for instance, I'm just stacking all of these with different dies because they're kind of an ambiguous sort of item when placed in the shelf, and since we're near the food section, I'm imagining that these could just be portrayed as like different herbs or spices or something like that, and they do just take up like a nice amount of these shelves. So another good item for this, I think, is candles, as candles are of course candles, but they can also be interpreted as, say, like different kinds of saucers or shakers for different herbs, or, you know, something like that in a similar sort of vein to the dyes. So not only could these be placed in like a home section of the supermarket, they could also be placed in like this food section. So particularly the white and the black and the grey ones for, like, you know, salt, pepper and whatever else. But for the colourful sauces as well, I think that the candles work nicely. Same with potions as well. I think potions can just be potions, but they could also be like saucers or drinks, or in the case of the pharmacy, even like they can be actual potions as well. So you can get a lot of mileage out of the potions and the various different types of bottles too. So again, like a lot of this really is kind of like it's a lot of imagination based building, really. I think that the main part is that as long as they're all different as you walk through, I think that it just keeps things interesting. This is a detail that I wanted to add later, but I could easily see myself forgetting about it. I want to add aisle indicators hanging down from the ceiling, lining up with the end of these shelves here. So we'll place 2 chains and then a mangrove hanging sign, and then we will indicate an aisle number, so like 1 here, and then the next one will of course be 2, and they want to dangle down right at the ends of the aisles here. And we're just going to do this for each one of these. Now, we will have more of these to add in the future, but I'm hoping, by virtue of the fact that we've done these, I will remember to do all of them. Because, again, I could very easily forget this detail. And it's quite a cool detail. I think it's... Okay, we almost placed that one wrong. Is this number 6? I think it is. Okay, so, I mean, yeah, just take a look. I mean, that's pretty cool, isn't it? I like how that looks. Well, now that we've done that, we are going to make yet another kind of shelf all the way over here left of the warehouse entrance. We are going to place an oak plank left of this light grey concrete, and then 3 spruce planks, 1, 2, 3, and then an oak plank, 2 spruce planks, oak plank, 3 bookshelves, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 spruce planks, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 bookshelves, 1, 2, 3, 3 spruce planks, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 bookshelves, 1, 2, 3, just like this. So we can start by making the bookshelf rows 3 rows high in total, so we can just throw 2 rows on top. We can add an additional 3 rows on top of the spruce plank rows, so we can just extend these up like this. And then these uniquely, we can actually add some spruce trapdoors flipped up left and right of these, just like so. And they want to come all the way up to the top, basically. Just like this. And we can add some on the side as well to box them in. And then we can just add... So, funnily enough, like, we just have to add them... This is a mess. We just have to add them across the top, like this. So, actually, we might be able to do that, actually, because I'm... Okay, so we're filling it up with shelves, like this, right? And we're just going to stick item frames on them. And I do believe that we should be able to place item frames on the row anyway, so that's perfectly fine. So we'll just place that across the top, and then later we'll have some concrete across the top of that, and that, yeah, that looks nice and clean. We want to do the same thing here as well, so we'll just stack the trapdoors just like this on the left and the right, and we'll come up here. And we will add the trapdoors wherever we can, and then we'll just add some some item frames to the shelves. So that looks fantastic. So now that we've done that, we can focus on this area, which is a bit different. So step 1 is to raise up the oak planks by 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We can... You see, it's weird, but we're going to start off just by placing spruce planks at the back here. We want to extend the oak planks 1 row forward, so that's all of them. And then in here, we will have some spruce trapdoors across the bottom here, and across the top here. And then the goal is to place cakes on here, like this. But we also want... No, not a half-eaten one. But we also want to have, like, another row of cakes. Just like this. Here as well. And that... Or maybe, like... Yeah, there, actually. I think would just be fine. And I wish that we couldn't see the wall. But I like the effect of the cakes being there. The only part that I don't really like is... I mean, maybe... Actually, okay, what about this? So we add these shelves at the back, and then the cakes on it. So we still see those. I think that looks pretty good. Then maybe we don't even need these. So maybe we have some like see-through shelves like this. And then I was thinking that we could add just like some ways to actually like get up higher onto the shelves if need be. So we could add like a little kickstool here in the form of like a stair with just some signs on the side. We could add some scaffolding as well, just off to the side as well. Maybe even some ladders too. So just something like this, I think looks pretty cool, so that they can be restocked as they are bought. And not only that, I think that we are also going to add some. So we want to replace some of these blocks here at the top. So we're going to replace these blocks at the top with red concrete, just like this. And maybe we'll even make more of that wall red concrete as well to coincide. But we'll add some red concrete here just above the door. And then we will place some yellow concrete extending along the top of these shelves here on the wall, like this. And then we will continue on and we will place some lime concrete extending all the way over to the left above these shelves, just like so. So we're making the back wall just like nice and colourful. We're covering up any discrepancies that we may have in the wall like this. I'm actually thinking that we do in fact just have this wall be a bit different. Like, maybe just so that it stands out a little bit, so it's a bit different, maybe we will have this wall be just sandstone at the top. I think that will look nice, as we don't need the whole thing to match. But I think that, as we look around, I think that looks a little bit more interesting. We can even add some paintings like above that side if we wanted to. Now, just before we move on, we can stack these shelves with like bread and just lots of bread really, I think, for these shelves specifically. Now that we have made our bakery section, we can move along and make the frozen section. So directly to the left of these bookshelves, we will place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 light grey concrete extending up the wall. We will then extend to the left by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then down. And left by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then down. Left by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then down. And left by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then down. So we are now going to extend these 2 rows in front. So that's a weird way to phrase it. We are going to add 2 rows of light grey concrete in front of what we've just made. I think that sounds more normal. And then we are going to add some white concrete to the backs of these. And then we will add the arrangement of iron trapdoors like this in here with the item frames on the iron trapdoors. Just like this. So we have some along this wall here. And then we have to add some across the back too. They are a bit different. So diagonal in relation to this, we will place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 light grey concrete, like so. And then we will extend to the left by 3 again. So 1, 2, 3, and then down. And then 1, 2, 3, and down. 1, 2, 3, and down. And then just one more time. 1, 2, 3. And then down, just like that. And then we are going to extend these to the back wall, and this is going to get very cramped very quickly. There we go. And we will add some white concrete to the back of these. We're basically doing the exact same thing again. They're just orientated a bit differently. And then light grey concrete across the top of them. And in this corner as well, this corner is just a little bit of dead space, really. And then we can add the same arrangement of iron trapdoors inside of them. And then item frames on the trapdoors. And that's perfect. So the only thing with these is before I move on too far and forget, I do want to add an additional layer of bricks and smooth sandstone just left and right of this window, just extending all the way up the wall. And this will just make everything look a little bit nicer. So it boxes the freezers in and also the window. We do have to decide whether or not we want the red concrete across the top of this wall, because I'm filling in where it should be if we were to add it right now. But I don't know. I kind of... We'll just have to decide later, I think. So now that we've done that, I do also want to add some light blue concrete across the top of these freezers here. So just because this entire back wall, we've kind of got like a whole colourful concrete scheme thing going on. I do quite like that. And I do like the fact that like the back wall has a bunch of colourful concrete and then like just... And then there are plain sections too. We could even make the front wall, like we could add the red to the front wall and then just leave this wall alone, just so that there's a bit of contrast about the place. We'll decide later, I suppose, but in amongst all of these, we have to add another set of freezers too. And we do this by finding this light grey concrete here. We count to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 light grey concrete extending up, and then left by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we extend that way by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we can kind of just like extend the corners down like this, and we can join all the way back to the start. So we just join all the corners, we extend the ends down, so this side specifically, and this side specifically too, and the top, and then right in the middle we will have 2 rows of white concrete. So we'll basically just have like back-to-back freezers. It's pretty much the same thing that we've made quite a lot already. And then you could have like one giant freezer if you wanted to, or better yet, we can split it up exactly how I'm doing now. I actually wouldn't have a giant freezer. That seems a little bit weird actually, but we can add all of the trapdoors like this, and the item frames to the trapdoors. Just like so, and I think that we've done that for every single instance of this. And then it's just kind of choosing what to put in all of these. Like, I think a solid one could be to add some shulker boxes inside of here, as they kind of just look like boxes of something. And something is the operative word. It's a nice sort of questionable what is that. They could be like microwave meals, they could literally be anything. So I think the shulker boxes just all along the edge work nicely. They're just a nice mystery. You know, I've just had a thought. I think I'm actually going to place like raw meats and some vegetables down here in the frozen section. And I'm going to change things up all the way in the fresh section. I'm thinking that maybe I can just have like an entire back wall of different milks, and that will make probably a little bit more sense than having just like a bunch of frozen stuff in like the grocery section. Oh, and hopefully it goes without saying that I'm just sealing all of these up with the light blue stained glass, and then just adding door handles to them. So there we go. That's looking pretty good, I think. And like I said, I'm just going to head up here, and I think that in every single one of these, I'm going to add both milk and a candle that corresponds to some kind of milk. Like, so in the UK, and I'm assuming elsewhere, it's just got to be this way. Like, milk is usually like color-coded. So like skimmed milk, for instance, will have like a red cap, semi-skimmed a green cap, and just full-fat milk like a blue cap. And then, of course, there's things like chocolate milk and, you know, vanilla milk and cream milk and all sorts. So I'm thinking that we have just like a bunch of milk all the way along back here. And maybe we could even change the variety of the glass as well to indicate that it's a bit bit different. So I'm thinking just milking item frames at the bottom to kind of like display what this is, and then just like the actual candles as well. And I think that that's a pretty cool display. And then if you did want to, that would mean that you could probably change some of the things in the item frames down at the bottom here. So instead of just having loads and loads of shulker boxes, you could in fact have like more meats and stuff. But it really is up to you. It depends how crazy you want to get. Left of the frozen section is another set of shelves. To position these, we count left of this light grey concrete and we find the 5th block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We place a bookshelf and then leave a gap of 3. 1, 2, 3 bookshelf, and then a gap of 1, 2, 3 bookshelf, and then a gap of 1, 2, 3 bookshelf, just like this. So we extend these bookshelves to equal the length of the little 2 freezers that we have over there, just like this. And I'm actually considering like splitting these down the middle as well, so we have like a set of smaller shelves. So if you do that, we still make them just 2 rows high anyway. And then we add the red carpet to the top of these. And then I guess this is kind of becoming an optional extra. You can then add the shelves to them too. So always the pale oak shelves. They just look better in my opinion, or at least better for like a supermarket environment. But I find that the regular just bookshelves just have so much charm. Like I like how they look just by themselves, I really do. But I guess it is cooler to have like just a bunch of items in there. I guess it is more visually appealing. There we go, and I think that again, once again, it's a little bit more interesting because they're different kinds of shelves as well than pretty much everything else that we've placed. And against this wall here as well, we want to place a row of 3 by 3 bookshelves right here. So like in between this window and the frozen section here. And the same thing on the opposite side of the window as well. We want to leave a gap of 1, then place 1, 2, 3 shelves or bookshelves. And then we want to make these 3 rows high to match the opposite side. And then we're actually going to leave a gap of 1 from these, and then we are going to place a row of bricks extending to the left, and we are going to place the bricks, and we are going to, well, first of all, we can actually just remove the white concrete that we have here, and we want to have a false wall in this position here, and we'll actually have the same thing over here in the left as well. So extending from here, we'll have a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 bricks, and we can just start extending to the left a little bit. We're not going to go too far with that though, but we want to have the bricks 2 rows high, of course. We also want to replace the floor here with some quartz brick, and then we can place smooth sandstone on top of the bricks, extending all the way up the wall, just like so. And this gives us like an alcove, and I was thinking that maybe we could have like a little alcoholic section all the way over here. Not where alcoholics are, I was thinking like some alcoholic drinks, so just some different kinds of shelves really. So right in the middle of this section, I guess that there's not really a middle exactly, is there? Maybe we even have to add like another row actually. Yeah, maybe we can do that. So we can add just another layer, just like this, and then that way there will be a middle. There we go, since we fabricated this this little area anyway. So we can add some bookshelves, like right up the middle here, extending right to the end. And then we can add 2 chiseled bookshelf here in the middle of the wall. And we can actually remove part of the wall, can't we? So we can remove 1, 2, 3 rows here, and we can place spruce planks in there instead. And then we can stack up spruce trapdoors on top of these. So this is, it's hard to get in position for this, but basically here, and maybe it would be easier if we had blocks to place them on, But we basically just want to make the similar sort of shelves to like the bread shelves that we made earlier. And then we can have like item frames on here, something regular on here, and then we can just add some more shelves just at the top here like this. And then we'll do the same on the opposite side. So chisel bookshelves at the base. We can remove the middle of this wall, stacking yay high. Maybe we don't even have to make it that high, maybe so. There's no downside actually, so we'll do that. And then maybe if we place... Yeah, that's easier, isn't it? There we go. That's definitely easier. And then up this side as well. What am I doing? What? Oh, it's because I used that block. I was wondering why I couldn't place the trapdoors. There we go. And here, here, here. Again, basically with the goal of just being able to place like candles or pickles or pots or something on here. And I don't know whether to like, maybe we could have this. So maybe we could like shrink that a little bit. If we wanted to go a little bit further, we could even have some like shelves here. Just kind of like placed against this wall. And then maybe we could have some paintings above this. I think that that'll look pretty good. Let's grab some stuff. So the idea being that we can add like different potions to these item frames here, and then maybe like a brewing stand here, flower pot here. We can have some like candles here as well. We can't place item frames on there, unfortunately, but we can have the paintings here, which I think kind of adds a little bit of a lore to this area in particular. And then we can just like stack these. I don't want to grab a bunch of... Okay, I'm going to grab a bunch of different potions. Let me just destroy that. So just like random potions again. I'm thinking just here. And then maybe I'll grab like some of these vials here, if you could call these a vial. There we go. That's looking pretty good, I think. Could we then place something across the top here? Could we like use, say, like brown concrete or something to kind of like indicate what this is? Would this look a bit too stupid? I don't even know. To kind of like signal that this is... Or maybe this might be better. Maybe we like build it into the wall a little bit. And then, because I was contemplating actually, wasn't I, adding the red concrete into this wall. So like at the top. So maybe we could just have like a bit of brown concrete just to like differentiate it. Or maybe we could just stay congruent with the red concrete as well. I don't know. We could, regardless, definitely add some ceiling into here. I think that would look a little bit better. And there we go. I actually really like that little section, which leaves us with these. I feel like I might be starting to get a bit lazy because I'm just going to stack like a bunch of like beds in these shelves, like beds and towels, as kind of like a home section, so to speak. So just like literally just an entire colour of bed for like 2 shelves. This is a little bit lazy, I won't lie to you, but I don't know what else to put in here. I suppose we could put like different colourful, like we could put, say, like lanterns in here as kind of like, again, kind of like a home section, plant parts, and maybe even some of the colourful terracottas. We could maybe do that. Might even do that myself a little bit later, possibly, maybe, I don't know. I guess I could at the very least use like a different colour of banner per like... I think I'm actually going to have to... I am going to have to get something else, aren't I? Because I've ran these out. So beds, banners, what else? I guess we can just have like a bunch of varieties of like lanterns and torches. And I've also got some music discs as well. Like unless we do add more shelves about the place, then we can't really, like, we don't have like a music section or like a video game section. We don't really have like a toy section, but we could add them to those bookshelves if we wanted to. I'm just wondering how important that is though. Like, we at a certain point, like I think that I think we should probably stop with trying to like cram as much detail as possible and kind of just enjoy this place for what it is. Like I don't think that we have to make sure that we have like every single possible section that would need to be added, but you certainly could if you wanted to. And if you do want to add more things, then like you can always add shelves like to the ends of the shelves as well, if you did want to say like this would actually be a perfect candidate for the music discs. And I'm now actually tempted to do it against the ends of these shelves, but I am going to restrain myself and instead add some more hanging signs from the ceiling. So do remember, these are 2 rows long. I'm just going to add all of the chains first. These are 2 rows long. And then we add the gates. The hanging signs to the end. So we left off at 6. So this would logically be 7. And then 8. And then 9. And then this is actually the last aisle. So it's kind of cool that we've got 10 in total, actually. Isn't it crazy that we've kind of like only filled in half of this place? We've still got all of this. Next, we are going to make the clothing section. To begin, we have to come all the way to this wall. And this wall is meant to be 4 rows long. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So earlier when I was just kind of throwing this together, I made it a bit too long. It has to be 4 blocks wide in total. And then we can just connect it back to the actual front of the building, just like this. And there we go. So next, we are going to place a smooth quartz block in this corner, leave a gap of 2, place another, gap of 2, place another, gap of 2, place another, gap of 2, place another. Next to this, we will stack 2 bricks here and then just smooth sandstone extending all the way up to the ceiling, like this. We want to extend the smooth quartz block forwards until we are 2 rows beyond the bricks that we have here. So we add 1, 2, 3, 4 rows like this. And I am just realizing that after we've done this, we do have to alter this area a little bit. So next, we are just going to add another row of smooth quartz on top of our smooth quartz, just like this. We will add oak doors here, just like so, on the right side of each one of these little cubicles. We will add some smooth quartz block in between. And then we are just going to add some smooth quartz slab all the way along the top of the smooth quartz. So just all the way around, really boxing these in. And these are just going to ultimately be changing rooms. Although, it would actually be a good idea to remove those doors, as we are now going to dig and remove some of the floor here. So the goal, and I'm just going to do it and then show it you afterwards because I think it will be a little bit easier. The goal is to dig this area. So left and right of the cubicles that we've made, the changing rooms, we dig out and we line up with the end of these shelves. And I'm going to remove and replace the quartz brick. And you don't have to do this, by the way. It'll look 100% fine if you don't do this, but I think that's a nice touch. I'm going to place oak planks in here instead, so just a bit of a warmer material. So if you want to skip this, do feel free, but I do think that it's a nice little addition. and then we can add some oak planks just like this. And as usual, I am just going to add a border all the way around. And then we can just fill the very middle of this in. There we go, and I just like how it keeps everything separated. Like it feels nice to have that little bit of contrast with the rest of the floor. And something else that we must do as well is add some white concrete to this back wall here. So we are just going to apply it directly to the wall itself, so just like this. And we will have to remove these slabs, and we're just going to extend it all the way up to the very top, just like that. And ultimately, we will be extending this red concrete across. I do think until like the entrance wall, basically. So I think that we will just place that now. Just like that. That looks fantastic. And I'm not certain about this part. Like, I don't know whether to keep it like that or just have red. Like, I kind of like the idea of just having red, to be quite honest. Like, I think it looks a little bit nicer. It looks a little bit cleaner. And we can just apply red concrete underneath this part as well. Here we can actually extend the bricks and the smooth sandstone out, and I guess that we'll do another row of it as well. So we'll just even it up just like this, and I don't want to interfere with this area at all, but this area is looking pretty good now. So in each one of these changing rooms, we are going to add some end rods into the back, so just as hangers, so that we can hang clothes that we've tried on, just leave them there. We're going to add some slabs to the side, so just as a bench, just in case we have to like sit down and it makes it easier to get the clothes on. And then we can add a mirror in each one of these as well. So this is the same mirror banner that we've used in the bathroom earlier, so if you need to, go and grab it. And now that we have done that, we can also add some pictures above these as well, and I'm just going for a bunch of 1x2s, preferably not the same ones. Not that, okay, close but different. There we go, that is looking good. And then we will leave a gap of 2 from the end of the changing room, so 1, 2, and we'll place 1, 2 polished black stone wall with 2 end rods extending across, and then another set of wall here to meet it. We will then do the exact same thing on the opposite side, so we'll leave a gap of 1, 2, and then we'll have 2 wall, and then 2 end rods, and then 2 wall on the opposite side there. And then right in the middle, we are just going to have a potted plant in the form of a brown glazed terracotta and oak leaves. Then we will leave a gap of 1 from where we have these end rods here, and we will place some spruce planks with spruce trapdoors flipped up around these. And we can have anything in here, so like item frames or carpet or something. I'll show you in a second. But we want the exact same thing on this opposite side too, so in the exact same position. It's very symmetrical, this area, so we will just have like an item frame here, say. And then, next, we will leave a gap of 3 from this plant, so 1, 2, 3, and then we will place a smooth quartz block, which we will extend left and right, but more importantly, we'll extend the middle this way. We'll go 1, 2, 3, and then left and right, and then again, 1, 2, 3, and then left and right, and we'll add another row on top of this, followed by rows of smooth quartz slab across these sections like this, and then end rods in between the upper smooth quartz blocks, just like this. And then on the ends of these displays, I was thinking we could either have like a mirror, which might just look good, or maybe just like a little random, like an armor stand, and say like a smooth quartz slab and like scaffolding and a flower pot, or something like that. Maybe we could even have a mirror here, actually. So maybe we'll do that. So we'll grab it in a second, but on the opposite side, we want to have pretty much the exact same thing. So kind of like a similar sort of configuration, just like this. And then let's just grab one of the mirrors out of the changing rooms and... mirror? Okay. A mirror out of the changing rooms, and then we can just have them like that. I think that that's good. And then from here, we want to add some tables. So leaving a gap of 2 from these spruce trapdoors, or the spruce planks actually, 1, 2. We want to add... We basically want to have a 2x2 table made by, as you can see, flipping up some spruce trapdoors, 2 rows of them across, and then another set here. And then we'll just have a couple of scaffolding, probably inset here, just extending this way. And then the same thing on the opposite side as well. So we leave a gap of 2, so 1, 2. We have the flipped up spruce trapdoors, add 2 rows, another set here, and then just a couple of scaffolding just there. And then it leaves a little bit of dead space here, so you could either add armor stands and you could outfit these with something, or you could add some more plant pots or something like that. But filling in all of this section requires some extra item frames. We'll place 2 of them on each one of these kinds of tables with something in the item frames, and then some colourful carpet as well. And we'll just do the same thing to the opposite side. We'll keep things nice and symmetrical, or close to symmetrical anyway. So we'll use the opposite here. And then we can use this on this side, and we can use this on this side. So instead of having to grab a million different things, we can also use the armor stands as well to display some of the armor that we've got. I think that that's looking pretty good. And then I've got some slabs here, so I'll place, say, like a mangrove slab here and a warped pressure plate here, and maybe even like a bamboo pressure plate here, maybe like another mangrove slab here, and then on here an acacia slab. And what have I not used? Maybe the bamboo pressure plate. So just different slabs and pressure plate. These look like clothes that, or could look like clothes that have been like folded and stacked on top of each other. So we have like a big pile. And then we can just use the banners here. And we don't have to use 2 banners per set of rails. Like, you can chop and change it up a little bit. And we can place these here. And we can have some more clothes just kind of like placed along these rails here. And then in some of the changing rooms, we can also have them as well. And you can leave like item frames with things just like placed on the ground too. But this is pretty much the entire clothing section, which I think looks pretty good. Which kind of leaves just one part of this area of target left to make. Next, we will make the checkout area. To begin, I would actually like to complete this wall. So all we have to do is extend the bricks and sandstone that we placed earlier just all the way across to the left. I don't know why I was scared to do this earlier. I just didn't want to make the wall wrong, basically, but it's exactly where it needs to be. We also have to extend these bricks and sandstone 1 row forwards just next to the entrance, like so. In addition to this, we want to add a row of bricks and sandstone just all the way along the right as well, so from floor to ceiling, just like this. We also want to add the same thing here as well, so just on the edge, 1, 2 bricks, and then smooth sandstone extending all the way up to the ceiling. And we will also add one here, so in the same line as the one that we just made, but lining up with the opposite side just next to the entrance. We want to also have a pillar here as well. And we are also going to add some more. So we will add one here. So basically in between these two and lining up with the wall of the pharmacy. We want to add another pillar here and equally so all the way on this opposite side too. So just right next to the oak planks, if that makes sense. And it'll just end up looking like this. I know that that's like a little strange, but you know, it is what it is. So next, we are going to make just some bargain bins. And to do that, we will leave a gap of 2 from this pillar, so 1, 2, and then we will place 1, 2, 3 oak planks. We will then leave a gap of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we will place 1, 2, 3 oak planks. And we'll extend them one row this way, and then we will place spruce trapdoors just all the way around the oak planks. And then we will stick just a bunch of like player heads on these. So preferably we'd have like loads of different ones, but I am just going to reuse the same ones because I don't want to clog up my inventory, but something like that I think looks pretty good. Next we are going to make the actual checkout. So we will have some regular checkouts and we will have some self-service ones. So leaving a gap of 2 from behind the bargain bins here, so 1, 2, we will place a row of 1, 2, 3 red concrete, and we will extend the left block back 1. We'll stick a polished blackstone stair here, end rod here, polished blackstone pressure plate here. We will have 2 black stained glass pane here, detector rail here, iron trapdoor here, 1, 2, 3 polished blackstone wall here, beacon here, just like this. There is more to it, but I want to make the other one of these first. So we'll leave a gap of 1, 2, and then we'll place the same 3 red concrete, extend this back, stair here, seat here, so end rod, pressure plate on top, 2 glass pane here, detector rail here, iron trapdoor here, 3 polished blackstone wall here, and then a beacon. And then to complete these, all we have to do is add a painting to the stairs and a white banner just to the ends, just like this. And that's all there is to them. Those are the regular checkouts. I actually almost missed this detail, but we have to place polished blackstone pressure plates on top of the beacons, which is actually kind of tricky because everything is just a little bit too short. So I'm just placing a block on top of here and then getting that placed. And there we go. That's perfect. So now we are going to follow along where we have these tills, right? So follow the red concrete all the way to this back wall. And on the back wall, we will place 1, 2, 3 red concrete that corresponds with the red concrete that we placed earlier. Hopefully that makes sense. We will extend this block 1 row forwards, and then place 2 smooth stone slab to the right. We will place a polished blackstone stair here, painting in front, detector rail here, iron trapdoor here, 1, 2, 3 polished blackstone wall here, beacon, and then before I forget, I am going to place the pressure plate. There we go. Then there is a little bit more to it, but we have quite a few of these to make. So we'll leave a gap of 3 to the right. So 1, 2, 3. And then we will place 1, 2, 3 polished blackstone wall, beacon. Can you place the pressure plate? You can actually place the pressure plate on top of the beacon. That is a revelation. That's so much easier. And then we will place 1, 2, 3 red concrete to the right. Extend this one forwards. Blackstone stair here. Painting here. Detector rail here. Iron trapdoor here. And then 2 smooth stone slabs here. And once again, there is more to this, but we need to make 2 more of these. So we'll leave a gap of 3 in front. So 1, 2, 3. And then we are going to place another set of these. And I am just going to kind of quick build these because we have made these 2 times already. So hopefully you guys have got a pretty decent grasp on this. I don't know why I'm even building them in the way that I am, but it seems faster for some reason. I don't know why. And this can't be faster. I'm all over the place. This is ADD, and this is like a showcase of ADD, and then we can place that. There we go. That is absolutely Perfect. So now for the missing details, we simply want to add item frames in front of the red concrete seal with an iron trapdoor in the item frame, light grey banner applied to the same block, white banner here, pale oak shelf here with just different treats inside the shelf, the kind of thing that you may find at a checkout. And then if you wanted to, you could place, say, like, I haven't done this in the original, but you could have like a chest up here or something as well. But I don't know if that's possibly a little too much or not. But you know what? Maybe we'll just leave it because why not? And we'll do this for every single one of these self-checkouts. So let's do it. Did I place the white banner on the side? Yes, I did. So we've just got to do that here as well. Feel as though that I'm missing something. Yep, I'm missing the white banner, but there we go. That's absolutely perfect. And that is the checkout 100% fully completed. Now, I do remember saying that the checkout area was the last thing we had to do in this part of the build, but I noticed that we have this dead space here in the grocery section, and I think it would be good to add some eggs. So I'm just going to start off by placing some stripped spruce wood like this, and we are going to investigate. Okay, we are going to place 2 rows of stripped spruce wood like this, and then we are going to place 1, 2, 3 rows of spruce planks on top of the back row of wood. We are then going to place item frames here, and then spruce trapdoors here. We can place some turtle eggs on these trapdoors and some regular eggs here. And I was thinking if there was enough room, but I don't think there is, maybe like we could place some daylight sensors, or maybe we could just place like 1 here, only because it kind of looks like an open egg carton. But before we move on to that, let's clad this with some spruce trapdoors like this. So just on the sides. It's unfortunate that we can't utilize the depth of the... Okay, this is actually going to be actually, no, it's not going to be tricky because we can just place them like this. And then how do we get them here? That's actually going to be quite a problem. So we can place it like that, right? Okay, there we go. And then just 1 more here. See, I think that looks pretty good. And then just across the top, we could have either some... No, the angle. We could have some slabs, or we can just use some more trapdoors. So I think that looks pretty good. And then we could kind of make like an egg carton, either using like oak signs or something like that. So it just looks like an open carton, you know? And you could kind of like leave it like that exposed at the front, or like this. Or you could just leave it as it is. And I think that looks pretty good, in my opinion. Now, something else that I would like to take care of is there is a glaring, very glaring problem with this part of the roof, but it's actually a difficult one to solve. So, if we remove this red concrete here, you will notice that removing the red concrete on the outside gives us this gap, which is a problem. So, this gap can be solved by either placing smooth quartz slab like this, so just on this side of the build, so it will look like, I mean literally, oh no, that's fine. So it doesn't affect this one, but it affects this entire row here, right? So this entire row of red concrete on the outside of the build, just this side, like it's not even that noticeable, will be turned into, and let's just grab the smooth quartz because it's going to be faster this way. Like, if we place some smooth quartz in here, from the inside the build, no longer have a problem. No problem whatsoever, but from the outside, you'll see in a second, of course. Let's just pop out. From the outside, you've just got a little bit more smooth quartz. I mean, is anyone gonna notice that? For real? Like, at all? Like, especially if we just turn this into a smooth quartz as well. Like, I think that we would rather have that than the alternative, because that just makes the inside just so much better. See, it's not an eyesore anymore at all. Now that we have completed the shop floor, we can head all the way into the back of our target and begin work on the warehouse. I have no idea why I made that so dramatic. Step 1, we are going to remove the floor inside of the main warehouse. Next, let's add some path. So we'll just start by placing, shall we say, 3 rows of smooth stone, extending from that entrance/exit all the way to the opposite end of the warehouse. Then we will do a similar thing on the opposite side, but we'll only have 2 rows. We also have to extend this smooth stone here across, and we're basically just creating a pathway extending from the shop entrance all the way to this back entrance here. And then all of this in between, we will just make stone. So I do believe that I used stone for the road outside. We didn't go with andesite, did we? I'm almost certain that it's stone, and so we just want this to continue on in here for a bit of continuity. We also have to add some stone brick wall left and right of the garage door, just like this. I'm also contemplating, I've really got to stop adding things, like adding, say, like just like a cyan terracotta, maybe like here, with iron bars extending all the way up to the ceiling, and then like a lever, just so that it seems as though that we have like a control for the door or something like that. But more importantly, we have to add just a bunch of shelves in here too. So these are just the standard makeup. So it's just going to be like 1, 2, 3 spruce trapdoors like this, right? A couple of spruce trapdoors this way, and then we can just add some more, so on the opposite side. So we can have something like this. You can make them longer as well if you want to, so like 1, 2, 3, and then maybe we can have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, or any amount that you want, really. You can even just shake it up completely, so instead of like making loads and loads and loads of those, maybe we can just have some different sizes, so maybe like this one can just be like 1, 2, 3, you know? As long as by the end, like, it just fits. Like, these places aren't necessarily like the most well-organized, so some different size shelving certainly wouldn't be that bad. So, like, let's say we're just 2 rows away from the door here. As long as it eventually kind of, like, fits, like, something like that, I think that that's just fine. And we want to have a similar thing on the opposite side. So we'll want to leave a bit of a distance, actually, from this. So maybe, like, there, I think is good. And I have no idea where I've just placed one of those. Oh, there it is. Disappeared. So, yeah, as long as on this side, let's have a big one here, why not? As long as, and I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? And oh, that's also another thing. I don't know what that noise was. Oh. But you can vary the shelves. You can see that we've done it on that side. So, like, maybe we'll make this one here, just like this. And if you wanted to, like, you can just place some across the top too. Again, variance is completely fine. So, I mean, you could even make them taller as well. We're going to have a no, I want this one to be smaller for some reason. We're going to have a forklift in here too, which is Or at least I'm going to have a forklift. You guys don't have to have one if you don't want to, but then I'll have a forklift and you won't, and I'll be like, hey, haha, where's your forklift? And then you guys will be like, I don't have one. Oh, but wait, I can check the description of this video and you will teach me how to make one. So, I might have boxed myself into a corner here. I think that we can have a tiny shelf, actually. We could just stick some, like, scaffolding as well. That's also, like, a solid option. Because scaffolding just like, we can even just have, like, a little Diddy shelf like that. Not Diddy as in, you know, I mean, Diddy is in a small shelf, a tiny shelf. Nothing weird. Okay, so now that we have done that, we have to fill these shelves in with stuff. These are always my sort of, like, go-tos, like barrels, shulker boxes, crafting tables, any of the tables, actually. Even some bookshelves, and anything that we have, like, on the actual, like, shop floor, too. So, say we could have, like, the brewing stands, the furnaces, the jukeboxes, maybe beacons, and we can have, like, just mannequins in there as well. Maybe, like, a mirror. So, like, anything that we have out here, it would make sense for us to also have in here as well, because this is where we actually, like, stock the place from. Or that's how it's meant to work anyway. Let's have like one of the... You can place those next to the trapdoor. I did not know that. That is wonderful. Okay. That looks weird, doesn't it? Maybe we'll just have one. Okay, well I guess it may be up here then, I guess. And yeah, let me just keep stocking. They would want to be placed on the shelves if we're going to be placing the heads. Maybe just something here as well, just a furnace. I think that looks pretty good, and I mean, again, we can just keep going and going with all of these things really if we wanted to. Like, we can proper stock the place out. We do also have to make the entrance for the walk-in freezer. So basically, we just line up with the middle of this road here. So it should be here. There should be 3 blocks to the left and 3 blocks to the right of the middle of the road. And we trace this along to this wall, and we remove 3 rows like this. And then 2 more rows to the left and 2 more rows to the right. We then place on the left here cyan terracotta with 2 light grey concrete above, and the same on the right, just like so. Then we stick some stone brick wall just either side, like this. Then we are going to add... Are we going to chop it? No, we won't chop a row out. So we will place some polished andesite slabs. They look so smooth. I always want to call them smooth andesite slabs for some reason, which also sounds cool. But I'm going to add some scaffolding here, like a chest or so here, maybe even a double chest, some barrels here, and yeah, I think that looks pretty good. We do also have to remove all of the floor as well, so we want to continue the smooth stone floor all the way into this room. And then in here, we do also just kind of have to wrap the room with cyan terracotta and light grey concrete. And we want it to be even on both sides. So from the left and right side of this doorway, we just extend 2 rows out, and then we just extend across the back and just join together just like this. And then we can stick some light grey concrete on top of this. We're basically just losing 1 row on the right. It doesn't really matter if this room isn't even, but you guys know that I've got problems. I like a bit of symmetry, to be honest. And then we are going to place in these back corners rows of stone, so from the floor to the ceiling. And then we are just I guess we'll do that here too as well. So in all of the corners, actually, from the floor to the ceiling, but specifically on the left, back and right sides, we will stack a couple of rows of iron trap doors like this, and then we'll just place item frames on them. So you don't have to fill all of them in if you don't want to, but once we have applied some item frames like this, we should probably stock them with stuff. An easy way to do this is to once again just like come out to the shop floor and kind of just, I don't want to use the word steal, but steal what we've already placed on the shelves. So I think I'm just going to go for mostly meat. I might pick up some of the veg a little bit later if we need to, but we don't have to go too crazy. This is actually like the perfect amount. Some veg probably would look good in here as well, but what we do have to do is, this is actually a choice. It will look good if you build some campfires into the floors and stick a smooth stone slab above, and you get this smoke effect. So you want to do this rather sparingly. So maybe like one here, like one here. Two is actually just fine. Shall we go for 3? Let's go for 3. We'll stick one here as well. And then you kind of get like the actual freezer effect, like the cold effect. And I think that looks excellent. And something else that we can add to the warehouse as well is we can add pallets to the floor. So these can be as small as a 2x2 like this, or perhaps like a 2x3. And you can add those to the floor, and I don't know, it just adds like a little bit of ambience in here, I think. Next, I think it might look nice to apply some stone brick slabs underneath the roof section to apply kind of like a nicer gradient to the roof, like this. So like that versus that. Like, now that I look at it, it doesn't really make too much of a difference at all, but I think it does make some sort of a difference. It definitely looks a little bit more refined, I think. I don't even know. I do also want to add some lights in here as well, but originally I lined them up with the shelves, which were all symmetrical in the original version of this build, but now we can't do that because they're all asymmetrical and it's hard to find the middle of this room. So what I think I'm going to do is find the middle of this little road section here. So this is the middle, and then roughly speaking, we're going to find about the middle of the room, and that might be it. It's just a little bit of eyeballing will do. Nothing, we don't have to go too crazy with this. And then, once you have found the middle, we're going to extend like right and left just like this, and then we are going to have an iron chain with an end rod dangling down from the ceiling, and then an iron trap door. So something like this, right? And then let's extend these iron trap doors like 1, 2, 3 this way, and like 1, 2, 3 this way. And actually let's have end rods here on the ends, iron trap doors above as well. I think that looks alright. It's roughly the middle, that's all I kind of want. And then we can do the same thing to the opposite side. So if it is a little asymmetrical, you know what? That's just fine. That won't bother me at all, and I won't be counting out and finding exactly where this should be placed as soon as we make this. So let's take a look. I think those could actually do with being like shifted out an additional row. But I like how they look. And yeah, so I'm just going to shift them out an additional row. You'd think I'd have like all of this worked out before the tutorial. But this is what happens when I change things mid-tutorial. Like, everything does have a plan, everything will go smoothly, and then I'll decide that I want something a different way, and then suddenly we're doing some experimentation. That looks great. It might even look better just having the ends. I think I prefer that. Okay, and guys, what do we do about this? Because this is like such a blemish. Can we extend this across the way? So, I guess this is an option, right? Like, we can, if we wanted to, we could make this wall red concrete. If we were to keep sandstone, like if we were to replace that red concrete there, let me show you, with sandstone, from the outside, we've then just got a weird patch of sandstone. So, is this preferable? I'll show you. Is it preferable? And then that Okay, I think we've just got to make it red concrete on the inside. So, if we were to make that sandstone, then on the shop floor we've got just a weird patch of sandstone which is rarely visible as we walk in. That's problem 1. Problem 2, if we replace all of those blocks with sandstone, then from the outside of the build, we'd have a weird patch of sandstone as well, which is just no good. I think that would be better. I think that looks better. You could even apply it to the back as well, although I'm not going to. I think we're done. With that final detail added, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially completed this tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add our Target into our city. Guys, I'm surprised to tell you this, but I think that we have already found the perfect place for this build, and we inadvertently started building this area up just a few videos ago. As I mentioned in my modern apartment block video, I wanted to spread the modern part of the city out into this area, and I think that Target would actually work great here. I wasn't sure whether to place it to the right of the apartment complex or maybe just opposite, but I think just off to the right works really well, and it actually kind of fits into this space here, which is surprising. The only issue we have now is the go-kart track, which I think was probably a little bit out of place anyway, and I think that we can find a better space for it in the city. I have to say, guys, I think that is a massive improvement to this area already. Like, just one build has already helped to transform this place so much. What do you guys think? You may be interested in becoming a channel member. You can click the join button that will be somewhere on the screen right now. This does cost money and is a monthly subscription, but you do get some perks. The first of which is a download link for my city design world. This has every single build that I have placed in my city, arranged in order, and labelled. This perk also comes with schematics for the mods Lightmatica and World Edit, so you can easily reference and copy and paste these builds into your worlds in any way that you'd like. However, if you're not interested in any of that building business, the highest tier allows you to download the most current version of Mini-City. There are also some minor perks, including loyalty badges displayed next to your name whenever you comment something down below on my videos. Depending on how long you have been a channel member, you gain a more prestigious helmet, with the highly coveted gold builder's hat being the most valuable. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.